Are you walking on eggshells with your husband, never knowing when he'll explode? It's exhausting, isn't it? One moment he's calm, the next he's angry, and you're left drained and anxious, wondering if this is what marriage is supposed to feel like. You're not alone. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to handle your husband's anger so you can feel safe, strong, and confident again, without letting his anger damage your relationship. Tip number 1, don't react to his anger. Of course, I'm not saying this is easy to do, but when you meet anger with more anger, you're just adding fuel to the fire. What starts as a spark can turn into an explosion. Instead, focus on keeping yourself calm and regulated. That might mean going for a walk, taking a few deep breaths, lowering your voice, or just saying, I need to take a quick time out because I'm just feeling very angry and overwhelmed right now. And I don't want to say anything that I'll regret later. Have you ever actually noticed that when you stay calm, the argument doesn't escalate as much? Drop a thumbs up in the comments if that's been true for you. Because here's the thing. When you stay calm, you're not just avoiding a fight. You're keeping control of a vicious cycle. If you're dealing with your husband's anger, it's easy to start doubting yourself. Is this just stress? Is it me? Or is there something deeper wrong with our relationship? That's why it's so important to get clear on what actually is going on in your relationship and what's missing. To help you out with that, I created a relationship test that's completely free. When you take this short test, it tells you exactly where the strengths of your relationship are and where the breakdowns are happening, especially around patterns like anger, emotional distance, and communication. So instead of feeling helpless and stuck, you'll walk away with clarity about what your next step should be if you want to improve your relationship. You can download it in the link right in the description below the video, or you can go to my website, parisacounselling.com/relationship test to take the test right now. Tip number 2, name what you observe. You might say to your husband, I can see you're really angry right now. I want to talk to you about this, but I can't when things feel so heated. It actually makes me feel intimidated and afraid. You can say this in the moment or even later when he's calmer. Either way, you're building awareness. Instead of getting pulled into the anger, you're simply pointing out what happened. This prevents a shouting match and focuses more on understanding the cycle that happens between the two of you. Now tell me, have you ever tried naming what you see instead of reacting to it? Comment yes below if that's something you're willing to try this week. And once you start noticing the pattern, you can move to step 3. Tip number 3, make an agreement. Don't just leave it to chance. Talk to your husband about what happens when frustration rises. You could say, when either of us feels anger is building up, let's take a timeout. You can decide how long you want the timeout to be, but you need to agree on the time. Then come up with strategies that calm both of your nervous systems. Maybe it's going for a walk, reading, or even just having some time alone. And be very specific. Talk about the signs that show his anger is escalating, so you can both spot it early. For example, maybe you notice when your husband gets mad, his face becomes red, he raises his voice or has this high-pitched tone. Maybe he rolls his eyes or starts breathing heavily. These are all things you both can notice that tell you need a timeout. Now, what's one thing that calms you down when you're upset? Share it in the comments. It gives other women ideas too. But what if his anger isn't really about what's happening on the surface? That brings me to my next tip. Tip number 4, you need to look beneath the anger. Anger is often a mask. Underneath, there's actually hurt, fear, or anxiety. If you can share this awareness gently, it can help him reflect. I wonder if what you're feeling is fear or hurt, and you're just showing it as anger because it's safer. Of course, this doesn't mean that you're excusing the anger, but it helps you both see it for what it is. It is a surface emotion covering something deeper. And when you understand the root, you can begin to address the real issue. Have you ever noticed this with your husband? That underneath his anger, there might be something more vulnerable? I'd love to hear what you've noticed. But what if his anger isn't just about stress or hurt? What if it's about control? That's where we need to get very serious. Know when it's starting to feel unsafe. If your husband's anger has turned into power and control, if it feels toxic, narcissistic, or abusive, you need to protect yourself and your children. At this point, it's not about managing anger. It's about safety. Sometimes the best strategy is to not be in that environment at all. That might mean seeking individual therapy or asking him to seek therapy for himself or reaching out for support so you're not carrying this all alone. Actually, if you're both both seeking therapy, I have a great video that tells you how to find the best therapist in your area, and I'll link it right in the cards on the video right now. Feel free to check it out. So if the anger is frequent, intense, and creating fear in your home, please don't dismiss it. Your safety matters more than keeping the peace and keeping the relationship. Here's the thing, dealing with your husband's anger is just part of a puzzle. Because let's be honest, when anger shows up, it almost always leads to fighting. And if you don't know how to stop that cycle, the arguments will keep coming back no matter how well you handle the anger in the moment. So if you want to know how to break the deeper cycle of conflict that keeps pulling you back in the same arguments, watch the playlist on your screen right now where I tell you exactly how you can stop fighting in your relationship today.